of this experiment, I have decided to drop Duolingo. It's not the easiest, but I know that's how I'm gonna learn. I also felt both progression and more clarity growing, both in grammar and my pronunciation and my... Hi, I am Mariana. I love languages, data, and finding methods that actually work. And yeah, no pretending that reaching C2 just takes 30 days. I had been interpreting between English, Mandarin, and Ukrainian, and currently I am starting my journey with Italian. So in this video, I'll share what happened within 15 days using Busuu. Let's first see the stats of time I've spent during this 2 weeks, 1 day, 15 days using the app. So here we go. The most you are seeing is 28 minutes I've spent, and the least was 2-3 minutes at the end. It's still much more than Duolingo, and one of the reasons is the confidence I felt after using the app. But you'll see more about that in the advantages and disadvantages bit. As I've been using 2 apps in parallel, you can clearly see that 80% of time I spent in total was on Busuu. I also learned 9 topics. 7 of them are already strong. A bunch of vocabulary. This one is not very informative. I'm just gonna skip over. Then I decided to predict how much will I actually study if I just keep on with the pace I am currently at with Busuu. And here are the predictions for the monthly study time based on the worst 3-6 minutes a day, average 8-12 minutes a day, or the best 14-20 minutes you've been seeing on my app. According to that prediction, over the year's time, I would maximally reach 120-hour yearly study. So that's about a bit more than 2 hours a week, which is not so bad. But if you look at the minimal one, I'll barely reach 20 hours. And that's something to think about. The first advantage I have written down here in my notebook is AI conversation with feedback. Here you'll see the recording of one of the conversations I attempted, and you'll see the type of feedback you are getting is actually correcting your grammar and advising you how to use it. So that was really helpful. Sadly, it's only available in the Premium Plus, I believe, but the price difference between the two is not so high, so I think it's totally worth it. Pronunciation feedback. There is this pronunciation exercise, same as AI conversation. I think they're not available for everyone, but it's really helpful because it's not just saying like, oh great, pass. It's saying how well you've done this. So like, do you need to say a more off or more open, or does this particular sound is just wrong? And that's what really helps you progress in a language. Of this one I can actually show you. So here in the review section you're gonna see grammar, and as you've seen I have 9 grammar topics I've been working on. You can just review the rules if you need to. You're like, oh, I made that mistakes in community exercise, and you can go back here and find this grammar explanation and understand why it's not a like feminine. If it ends at this E, it might be masculine or feminine. So that was really useful, and compared with Duolingo, where even AI explanations are not helpful at all. And I'm like, why did I do this trial with Super Duolingo if this explanation thing doesn't even explain stuff in the way which is actually helpful? That's one of most annoying things with Duolingo. Here on the review section, you can actually see the vocabulary, and you can be like, I want to practice weak words and review these words. Or you want to practice medium words because, yeah, you just don't want to do hard stuff today. But also it prompts you to review grammar, vocabulary sometimes. Yeah, like it's time to review your grammar or it's time to review your vocabulary. And I really like it being here separated and being able
Anche a
to
me.
just like listen to it whenever I decide to. Each new topic ends with prompt asking you to write or speak. So, for example, it will ask you to describe your room or tell what you eat, what's around your town. So, really depends on the topic you're learning. But what's good about it is that you'll try to remember things and put them into practice, into writing, or into speaking. Community, which actually feels like a close group of people around you which are practicing and who are you reviewing exercises for and who would be reviewing your exercises. You can actually add friends and ask them to correct your exercises, which is really, really helpful for you to find mistakes in the natural language you are trying to create out of words you've learned. You might still need a teacher to explain something, especially I think it's true with community corrections. Because I've been trying sometimes to write a bit longer. Oh, I actually see community corrections over here. Let me show you. So I've been trying to write a bit longer things. Let me actually see this one. I don't think I saw the corrections, so that's gonna be interesting. Nella mia casa c'è un bagno, due camere e la cucina. La mia parte preferita è la cucina perché mi piace cucinare. Nel bagno c'è la doccia, nella mia camera non c'è lo specchio. Also, this probably like inside, in I don't know why part are in here. I'll have so you see like this would not connect to those grammar explanation which I find so useful. So I would need to copy this, put it into some AI chat tool and ask it to explain in the way I would understand why these corrections were made. But the fact that it's here and I can just write a random text and get a correction for it. It's actually helpful. Another thing is helpful is because I'm not just writing a random text. Like I can ask myself to write about something, but on the lower levels of language, if you don't have the vocabulary to speak on this topic, you would probably find it really hard to do it. And it would not be worth an effort because it would turn language learning into a very hard task, which I'd rather skip. Overall, I had a feeling that my brain actually needs to work on it, and I can't just, play it as a game. Sometimes it was a bit of a push, and I was like, okay, this is hard. I mean, it's not hard, but like it's not the easiest. But I know that's how I'm gonna learn. And of course, I also felt both progression and more clarity growing, both in grammar and my pronunciation and my language. So I could write mini texts, I could reply on those AI conversations. So that was really, really great. And that's one of the reasons at the end of this experiment, I have decided to drop Duolingo for my Italian and do not use Duolingo for Italian at all. Because I'm not at the level when I'm not sure whether I want to learn a language. I do. And that means I need to put in effort, learn grammar, and produce language chunks and speak in dialects and practice my language.